Right.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited. We gotta get somebody to do us a theme song. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again on Cabrini Kid Wednesdays. I'm your host, the Cabrini Kid, David Haywood. I have my two hosts back with me again. We have Kadriana Heisman. Say what's up to the people.
Hi, everyone.
And then we also got KP back in the house with us. KP.
Let's go.
All right, so today we got a very interesting topic today. Today we're going to be talking about love languages. Earlier this week we posted that we wanted people to write into us about questions they had about like love, relationships, those types of things. And the first one that we got was probably the most interesting, learning and recognizing what your love languages are, and then how you also are a mirror for the person you're with and reflect those types of things to them as well. So, KP, I'm gonna start with you. Do you know your love languages?
I haven't taken this test in a long time, but if I recall correctly, when I did take it a while back, like it's been pre-COVID, I think it was quality time was my love language at the time. Yeah, it was quality time. Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
It's like 8 of them, right?
There's
Kadriana, what are yours?
5, okay.
So my top two, number one would definitely be quality time, and then it's tied with physical touch. I'm a toucher. I like to cuddle. I like to touch. So, yeah.
Okay. Mine initially when I took the test, and this was probably 2000. Oh man, probably 2009, 2010, when it like first started becoming a popular thing. My primary one was words of affirmation, and then my second one was quality time. But as we were talking about before we got online, I feel like it has changed a little bit, probably from some trauma. So the words of affirmation is not as big, even though I probably feel like it's probably like my third one now. But I would say my first one is
Hold on a second. Sorry, guys.
my first one's probably quality time. My second one is probably acts of service.
Should we go over them for anybody who doesn't know what the 5 love languages are? So the first one we have are words of affirmation. Then we have acts of service. Then we have receiving gifts or gift receiving. We have quality time followed by physical touch.
What's the difference between receiving gifts and acts of service?
So for acts of service, it's like if there's dishes or if you see your partner, it has a lot on their plate, you come home, you make dinner. And then gifts is giving gifts, whether it's expensive or, just little thoughtful gifts, but one is gifts and one is actually like taking the time to do something for them.
Okay. And then how does that project when that's how you want to be loved, but then how does that reflect when it's how you love other people?
So people don't give and receive love in the same way. So say if your love language is, you said quality time was one of yours, and then mine is physical touch. We could probably do that combined by me spending time with you, like watching movies on the couch, and then we're both getting it. So I guess the key in this is to know what your love language is as well as your partner's, because you could be giving gifts to somebody whose love language is words of affirmation, and then it's going to do nothing for them. So that's why it's so important to learn your partner's love language as well.
Okay, KP, do you feel like you take the time to find out their love language, or do you go in there with the playbook open to page 6?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I do have the love language book, but I never took the opportunity to read it. So no, I don't. I just go in and try to figure it out. I just try to figure it out. I understand the love languages deal. But I feel like, when it was like super, super popular, I felt like it was just like the thing to talk about just because it was
trendy.
Yeah, it was trendy. So I didn't really know if it was a thing. But the more that I thought about it and the more that I heard about it, I mean, I guess I believe in it, but I really don't know much about this particular topic, just because if a girl says, "Oh, my love language is getting gifts," I'm like, yeah, of course it is.
But that doesn't always have to be expensive. Like for me, it's the thought behind it. Like I had one guy who was an artist, and he would just make little random things for me. And then I like to eat, and sometimes he would just like bake me little stuff like that for gifts, and I love that. I actually love the little thoughtful things more than like the extravagant stuff.
Okay.
So it doesn't be crazy.
So then, yeah, then I guess it would have to be more explanation behind why you are that particular love language in regards to said person, because as soon as I hear gifts, I'm like, of course.
If
that's the case.
Somewhere.
Food. It's food. Love language is food.
Yeah.
Hey, it is for me. Like if you feed me, and I'm like easy though. You feed me, spend some time with me, we'll get along.
But I feel like when I originally started looking a little bit more into it, like I said, this is back in 2009, 2010. And I became a little bit more aware of it and I started thinking about it. It felt like it was just calling out obvious things, that somebody gave a name to just obvious stuff, right? Like if a woman likes getting gifts from you and they said, "Oh, that's receiving gifts." Duh. Or if she wants you to be around her all the time and watch her shows with her, and that person says, "Oh, we're going to categorize that as quality time." We already know that, so I think I had a little bit of hesitation to buy into it originally, because I just felt like it was renaming things that we all already knew. It wasn't introducing anything to us that was new. It was just saying, we're going to name this, we're going to name this, that. And it became super popular and blew up. And I felt like I was at a period of time in my life where I didn't want to do anything that was trendy. I was like, I don't want to do it because everybody's talking about it. But I think the more you think about it, it does make sense, because it does help you to not only understand why you are the way you are, but it helps you get to know the person in your life romantically. But you can apply it to everything. You can apply it to friendships. You can apply it to work relationships. And it helps you get to know those people on a better level as well. And like KP said, gives you a little bit more insight into why they are the way they are.
100%. I had a therapist one time tell me that and I don't know how true this is, that a lot of times if you look at somebody's love language, it's what they were missing as a child or what they needed as a child that they didn't get. And so then when I started to think about it in my life, I was like, well, I guess it does make sense for me.
Makes sense.
Mm. So you felt like you didn't get enough physical touch when you were a child?
Oh, absolutely not. I didn't get any. I did not come from a touchy family. I didn't get any. And quality time, that was another thing. I spent a lot of time as a child by myself. So I do think that's probably why those are my two main ones.
So now that you are in relationships as you got older, like how has that hindered you?
Before I learned about the love languages, yes, because I would date guys that were not quality time men. And so I was like miserable, but I didn't understand until I had went to a therapist and we had kind of talked over it. And I was just like, oh, well, that makes sense. If that is something that I crave in a relationship and I'm not getting it, then yeah, I'm not going to be happy. And I would be with guys that kind of resembled what I had as a childhood. So they were always working, always gone, or not really touchy feely kind of, physical touch people.
Mm-hmm. KP, do you think that held true for you?
No, not really. Not really. Like, no, I don't think so. My mom was always around, and my dad was too. So, I mean, for me, quality time, I think, is my love language, because I think that for me in particular, that in order to build a relationship, I think the foundation has to be friendship. And so I think that quality time that you spend with someone, being around them and in their energy, I think that is super, super, super important in order to, get a better understanding of each other. So that's why. So when because mine is quality time, I want to be around that person so I could get to know them, to see if I want to go to that next step.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think one of the interesting parts about it is that I don't really think that before I did a little research on it that I knew what I wanted in a relationship. Because I think that, and KP, I don't know if you can attest to this, but I think when you're younger, you kind of just go through the motions, and you're kind of doing all like the good boyfriend things, like take her out to eat, go to the movies, go, and you're doing all the cliche things that you're supposed to do, which probably works for one side of the equation and not the other. And I could definitely say that I didn't feel fulfilled by relationships I was in at a younger age. But I also think that's because I didn't know what I needed. But I also wasn't educated enough to sit down and think about, like, what do I need out of this relationship, out of this situation? What do I need from this girl to make me feel fulfilled? Like, you just kind of get wrapped up in doing the boyfriend things that you don't really think about it.
Right. No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
But and like I said, the other side of the coin, Kadriana, you could probably attest that for women, it's probably the same for you. Like you might get just not necessarily wrapped up in a person, but it's really like a period of time in your life where you're just doing for the other person. And you don't stop to think about, what do I need to be happy in the situation?
I think a lot of us do that, especially in the beginning parts of a relationship when you're so infatuated with that person. You're just trying to be in the moment and just give to make them happy. And then it's so easy to forget, hey, I'm not getting what I need out of this either. And that's where I think the conflict starts.
Mm-hmm. Geneva said, like, my love language is quality time and acts of service. My ex showed neither of them, but would love to give gifts because it was easy for him and he liked to shop.
See, that's a good example of like, not everybody likes the same thing. So she'd rather have the acts of service than the gifts.
Right. And do you feel like, would you consider yourself hyper independent?
Yes. I almost said no, and I was like, why am I going to lie on live?
But and do you feel like that affects someone's ability to express love to you in a certain way if you're hyper independent?
Yeah, I do. Because I think with some guys, they have told me they don't know what to give me or how to, like, I've had them say, I don't know if I can give you enough. And I think that's just because I'm hyper independent and I'm working on it. It's not, I don't want to be this way. It's just always been my go-to since I was a little girl. I've just always been like this, but it does make it hard for some people, but I think they're overthinking it.
Katie said, walk the damn dogs. I think that as a guy, that can be very difficult because when you go into a situation and a woman has a wall up, she's not letting you in. She's expecting for you to learn about her, but she's really not making that possible. But she doesn't realize she's not making it possible because she's just being the person that she's grown to be, very independent, kind of very self-serving and self-centered, and rightfully so. But doesn't have the opportunity to let somebody in. And I think that that's also where a lot of conflict comes in too, because you're getting mad at someone for not doing what you want them to do, but you're not giving them a chance to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Geneva says it doesn't necessarily affect it if you will come across a guy that shows you they want to and just do it instead of asking.
So that's the thing. That's how I've always thought. Well, I shouldn't have to tell you. I shouldn't have to ask you. But I think, I don't know, you guys, do you guys need us to tell you? Because I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you. I feel like if you are with me long enough, you should kind of pick up on what works and what doesn't. But it never seems to be the case. So would you guys rather us just tell you what we want?
Now, is this something that he, for example, the dog walking thing, is this something that he originally started doing originally and then he stopped, or he's never done it? If he's never done it, then maybe in his mind, which this is definitely not the right mindset, but maybe in his mind, he thinks that if it's your dog, you should be walking your dog.
But if you're with us and you see we're tired and the dog needs to go out, wouldn't you just think, I'm gonna walk the dog?
I'm with you.
No, because that's what I think with men. I'm like, I shouldn't have to, but I understand your point. I do.
Yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. He should for sure walk the dog without having to be asked. But I'm saying some people are probably thinking that either A, if it is your dog, that it's your dog, you should be walking your dog. Okay, if the dishes are building up in the sink, you see I'm tired, with that ass. Then again, that could be I'm not saying this is the way that I think. This person could think that it is your job to do the dishes.
I do think there are men that think like that, because there's been some that I will in the beginning stages of just getting to know them, I would find that if I told them something, then they would just like do that. And because the one guy, I was like, man, I just have to tell him, but he's never going to think of it on his own. I have to always tell him. And that gets old. That gets old.
Yeah.
So you want us to be mind readers?
No, but I feel like if you're with somebody, you should pick up on that. When I'm with somebody, I'm learning them. I'm learning what they like, what they don't like, and I'm going to figure out my man. I usually have a good idea of what my man wants after a certain amount of time. I don't think that men put as much effort sometimes.
Well, I don't know that it's not that men. I don't know that it's not that men don't put in the effort. I think that undoubtedly we are less complicated than women are. We're on a much simpler wavelength, and if you give us a plan, we can execute the plan. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not to say every man is like that. A lot of men are more thoughtful, more intuitive, more involved, more perceptive, and they can pick up on things like, she just came in and threw her bag down. I guess I'm making dinner tonight. Like, that A and B connection makes sense, right? But some guys are like, oh, she threw her bag down, but she normally cooks. Maybe she's going to cook in a little bit and we're not eating at 6 o'clock. Like, that also makes sense depending on the type of relationship you have. So I can see it from KP's perspective where he's like, maybe he just thinks it's your job to walk your dog because it's your dog. That's not wrong. But it doesn't feel good to the other person because she's like, I'm tired. I don't want to walk the dog right now. There's a difference between wrong and what feels wrong.
In my opinion, a good man is if he is home before she gets home and he's talked to her throughout the day and he's known that she's had a rough day, he's going to make sure those dishes aren't even in the sink when she even gets home. Now, again, if he has that mindset that I was speaking of earlier, then you might want to work. You either might want to like work on your training abilities, or you might want to get a new partner.
But what's wrong for if she recognizes that that's the way he thinks? What's wrong for her to say, you know what, maybe I need to put a little more effort into explaining to him what I expect.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, of course. But then is a woman really going to understand when a dude comes back and says, it's your job to do the dishes?
Oh, we'll understand. We'll understand. We might not like it, but to me, then if that's his thought process in the relationship, and we've already discussed this multiple times, and it's getting to the point where it's causing friction, we just might not be compatible.
Right. Yeah. But then, like, what if he says, well, I don't expect for you to go out and scrape my car when it gets cold outside. Will you expect me to do that?
So there's certain things, like for me, there's certain things that I feel like I expect my male partner to do.
I'm not for the viewing public. I am not saying that I would do these things. I'm just really just trying to throw out a different POV because there are men who probably think this way.
Yeah, and that's why I think every relationship has their unique, issues or problems. For me, that wouldn't work. Right. After so many times, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. I mean, he's clearly not a gentleman. If he's gonna scrape his, then he won't scrape yours. That would be crazy.
David, are you scraping windows?
I mean, luckily, I don't live in a climate where that's necessary. Um, but if we're talking about like a caliber of active service, yeah, I would do that. You know, I would scrape your car off. I would, go get gas, take it through the car wash, that type of stuff. Like I don't feel like that's like, I guess maybe because I don't see it as like a level 10 active
Mhm.
service. Like that would just be kind of maybe like a 5 or a 6 to me. Like it's just kind of routine. Like
Yeah, I
if
think that's routine maintenance right there.
Yeah.
like that's like nothing extraordinary. Like I can't even really think of what would be, but it's like stuff like that I don't think is like hard to do, you know. Like I told Geneva, like and she's very appreciative, very thankful for like the stuff I do. But I told her, I said, I almost feel like you don't have to thank me because the things that I do, I would have to do anyway. Like before I moved, I had my own place. So I had to do the laundry. I had to walk the dog. I had to cook every day, clean up around the place, dust, mop, whatever.
Hey, let me ask you this question though.
Mm-hmm.
How would you want appreciation to be shown to you by you doing those little things for her?
Oh man, that's a good question. And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. It's like you don't really understand how you need to see it. You just know that you can give it, but you don't know how you need to see it. And
I think it's a feeling.
it's a feeling that you get, but I don't know what the other person can do to trigger it necessarily. Like her saying, "Oh, thanks, babe, for walking the dogs." It's fine. Or her saying, "You don't walk the dogs today, I'll walk them since you walked them yesterday." That feels better, right? So
I like more of a babe. You walk the dog, I'm gonna toot that thing up later for you. that's, that's that's what I'm talking about. Give me,
So
that's
active service for you guys.
that's appreciation right there.
that's gift giving, acts of service, quality
Right.
time.
Quality time.
Right. Babe, I'm gonna give you a couple mouth hugs or something like that.
I feel like I don't do it looking for um affirmation of it because like I said, I would have to do it anyway. But I guess to answer your question for me is to do it sometimes. That would show me that you appreciate me doing it the majority of the time.
Right.
Like if I cook every day and you say, "Babe, you don't have to cook today. I'm gonna cook, or I'm gonna order out so you can take the night." Like that shows appreciation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, those types of things is how I feel like I've learned to see it that way.
But some women would say, as we talked about at some point, that that's not very masculine of you to want to.
Get it in return.
Yeah.
No. I mentioned the
It's
scraping.
sassy of us to say, show me some effort.
We want you guys to. We need you to, because a lot of guys won't tell us what you need. And it's okay to be like, I want you to make dinner, which for me, that's like all the time. I'm usually the one that cooks for my partner. But it's okay. We prefer for you guys to tell us. It's just when you guys are just doing, and you don't tell us how we can reciprocate, or which, again, I think it should be a given in your relationship. But some women need to know. It's not feminine to ask for, things in return, especially when you're giving all the time.
Huh.
He said, I feel like if a guy, let's say a guy cooks every day and he goes, "Babe, I'm tired. I can't cook today. Can you cook?" I feel like what I'm feeling is what KP is feeling synergistically, where he feels like it will be met with some resistance.
From a toxic female, maybe. From somebody who cares about it, no, not at all.
Okay, so so what I'm saying is that the girl always comes in tired. The dude always has to cook. At some point, he says, "Babe, do you think that you can cook sometime?" She would be like, "This, no, you can cook. I'm working. I'm tired. You can cook. What kind of shit is this?"
What kind of women are you meeting?
Now you changing up. You switching up on me. You switching. I knew you was gonna change.
And then she's going to her girlfriends. "Girl, I was working, and this MFer gonna ask me if I can cook." And then he had the nerve to tell me that he's tired. Try being a woman.
Yeah. Yes. Because only a toxic woman will say that. I promise you. If you are cooking for me all the time and you tell me, "Hey, I'm tired," say no more. Go rest.
What if it's on that one day that you're super tired?
No, no, I'm always the one that cooks. So when somebody would cook for me, I am so grateful. I love it. So I would do the same for somebody. I don't even know what I would do if somebody cooked for me all the time. I'd probably marry them.
So how would you show your appreciation?
What was that? Say it again.
I said, how would you show your appreciation?
So I do a lot of little things. I do like to gift. That's kind of one of my things. I like to give little gifts to people. So I will, when I'm dating somebody, I'm always doing little things. Like I find out in the beginning, like what they like, because I like to bake. And so I like bake them stuff. Like I clean the house all the time. So that's not really ever an issue, but I just do little things. If they tell me they have like a favorite, I dated a guy who was a cigar guy. I would go get him cigars just because that was his thing. And I just like doing little thoughtful stuff for my partner.
And now what was he doing? He was cooking every day?
Not every day. I cooked, and then he would, if he saw that I had a long day, then he would cook or we would go out to eat. I'm always overbooked doing all kinds of stuff. So he would try to organize like my desk area and stuff like that, just so that way I could, it was just like little stuff like that he would do to kind of show his appreciation.
And you would come in the house and be like, "I picked these up for you at the gas station," and give him some cigars.
The cigar shop. I never got gas station cigars. But yeah, I would just get little stuff like that. And then he was into books. He was a reader. So I would just like, if I saw a book that I thought he would enjoy, I'd get it off of Amazon for him. Just little stuff like that.
Would you ever do those things first?
I do those things first. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it was even?
No, because I needed more quality time than what I was getting. And I paid attention to what he liked and what he needed, but I don't think he paid attention or even had the time to pay attention all the time. That's why I said when I was younger, gifts were my thing, because he would give me little gifts and I was like, oh. But then I was like, I need more time. Like, I want you to sit down and watch something or go somewhere with me. I need more time.
Okay. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit to another topic we talked about, and we don't have to go into too much detail, but I'm gonna just throw a question out there, and we'll dive into it as needed. Do you feel like you need to see what your significant other's exes look like?
Yeah, for sure.
Good question. Yes.
1,000%.
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's super important to some degree, because you want to know either way it goes. I mean, if you have the confidence, you're gonna think that she's dating up regardless. But I think it's very important to see that person or whom she has dated in the past. I think that's super important.
Do you ever look at it as, do you measure yourself up to that person?
In regards to looks,
I mean, it could be the person as a whole.
I would say to some degree. I mean, typically I got the height thing on most dudes, so
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Yeah, you got it.
So,
You
so I got the height thing typically on most dudes, and so I would say it's more so like monetarily. It's more so a comparison monetarily, an internal comparison monetarily to the other person. I would go with that. Yeah.
If she dated a guy, let's say she dated a dude and he was a millionaire, would that make you feel some kind of way? I mean, you taller than him, but he could do things for her that you can't. Would you feel some kind of way?
And she's with me?
Yeah.
And she's no longer with him?
Geneva said, look how he says I'm 6'5".
right?
You gotta be proud of it.
I don't know.
Like if she was like, "Oh, you when I was with my ex, like he took me to the Maldives for 2 weeks and I didn't have to pay
Oh
for
no,
it."
if she's with me, I'm not tripping off what dude had before me. Yeah, I mean, if she threw that stuff in my face, then we would have to have that communication. And you know, if that wasn't something that she would stop doing, then in the words of damn, I forgot his name, but if you want to leave, baby, go ahead and walk out the door. One thing that you got to remember is one monkey don't stop no show. This train gonna keep on rolling. This train gonna keep on rolling regardless. So yeah, I wouldn't feel any type of way. I wouldn't feel any type of way because she's with me now. So there was something that didn't pan out, with that millionaire or that person with money, and and now she's with me. So I mean, I can't say 100% there wouldn't be some insecurities there, but I would also give the mindset that she's with me now, so she's where she needs to be.
Do you feel like it's her job to make you feel better about the insecurities that you have about her ex?
I wouldn't know why her ex would still be in the picture. I wouldn't know why it would still be a thing, but no, I wouldn't think it would be her job. But if her ex was somehow still in the picture, then I think to some degree, yes, it would be her job to massage that ego to some degree. But like for the most part, I think the man should put his big boy pants on and realize that, I've got her now. I'm laying wood in her now. And she's where she wants to be. What's that? I mean, what else is there more to talk about? Then that's where insecurities come in. Mm-hmm. She'd be like, "Oh, you're just insecure." Like, I'm with you. That's the first thing that she's gonna say. I'm with you. Who am I here with? I'm with you.
But I come home to you, baby.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, man. But then she's secretly on Instagram, like looking at pictures of him where he's in the Maldives with his other chicks. or she's having her girlfriends who still follow him, and they're like, "Girl, did you see Scott? He took Jennifer out to on the yacht. Did you see it? He took her on the NX jet to Vegas. Did you see it?" And then, she's in her mind, and then she's looking at you.
Like, damn, I could have had it all. I had it all.
Yeah.
This dude won't even walk the dogs.
Yeah, he don't even walk the dogs. And we had fucking a maid doing this stuff for us. So, yeah, I mean, she might be looking at you kind of sideways, but, I mean, if she's a rider, then she ain't gonna worry about none of that, and she's gonna be happy at home, in my opinion. If she's around.
Kadriana, what about you?
Yes, I do like to see what they look like, and I like to know, because it gives you a good idea as to what your person's into. Like if your ex has a bunch of exes that look nothing like you, or it's like completely different, it's definitely something good to know, good to see. I also, if he says like all of his exes, or if she says all of her exes are crazy, yeah, that's definitely something I take into consideration, because I believe that if all your exes are crazy, you're the problem.
Yeah, you either driving them crazy or you looking for crazy.
Either way, you're the problem. You don't know how to pick them, or you are attracted to something.
He's attracted to a project. He like a project.
And maybe he just had a bad string of luck of women.
All of them? So have you ever dated somewhere where all of their exes were crazy? Everyone, what happened? He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. That doesn't like red flag.
I think that he's crazy. I think that jargon gets thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just, I was just potting, but I think that word gets thrown around a lot. Oh, like, girl, he's crazy. Like, so that's the double standard in relationships that is wild. My girl can call me 15 times.
And it's your fault for not answering.
It's my fault for not answering, but I call 4 or 5 times in a row. I'm crazy. I'm psycho, et cetera, et cetera. What? That's the kind of stuff where I don't like in relationships, and I don't deal well with. What say you, Kadriana?
It depends on how much I like them. So if it was somebody I was like, I'm done with, don't call me, like, just leave me alone. But if it was somebody I was like, I really wasn't over this one, you can call me a little bit and try a little harder. I won't call you crazy.
Well, see, I heard a saying, I want to say maybe like a year ago, and the saying goes, women make excuses for the men that they like.
Yes.
And they make rules for the men that they don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
If she like you and you are crazy, you just passionate and you care a lot. If she don't like you and you didn't return her phone call within 10 minutes, you getting blocked.
You guys don't do the same thing?
No.
Dudes don't do that.
No.
But you're right. I do notice that with women.
You want to know why dudes don't do that?
Why?
Because they still want to smash.
Oh my God.
I always use this example, right? Because you see girls on Facebook all the time say, I hate when guys send me penis pictures to my messenger. I hate it. But they know if that right dude sent the picture, they'd be like, "Oh, girl, he sent the blah blah." And it's over with. And it's on and popping from that point on because the right dude sent it. So it's not that you don't like getting the pictures; it's that you don't like getting the pictures from the dudes you've gotten them from.
Yeah, we don't want dick pics from anybody that we don't ask for them, and we don't really. I don't know.
I'm not sending no dick pics to nobody.
Yeah, like it's the unsolicited ones, regardless of how good you look. That no, we don't want that. That's no.
So there's not one dude out there could send you one right now, unsolicited, where you'd be like,
No.
What's that?
No.
Nobody.
I mean, that's
I'm
fair.
trying to think. I don't know.
Idris Elba popping your DMs right now.
That was the first one that came to my mind, but
right, yeah. See, you already. Idris Elba come across you in one of these groups that you in. Was like, hey, I saw you. I was just thinking about you. I got something for you.
No, because that to me that's disrespectful. If I don't ask for it, you're disrespecting me. So, no.
Okay.
Yeah. Dudes who send dick pics unsolicited, that's diabolical in my opinion.
And they do all the time. I get at least one every couple of weeks.
What?
That's why I like when you're talking about the messenger. Yes. And I just block. I used to just go off on them, but now I just block because what's the point? It's so gross.
What makes a dude think? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't from a female perspective, I don't understand how you guys. I don't understand how you guys do it because I know you guys get a lot of just unsolicited like dick pics. It's crazy.
That's such a that's an immediate turn off. You send me a dick pic, I don't care how good you look, and I didn't ask for it, I'm done with you.
Geneva said, right, it can turn from interested to not interested, like he's just out here sending unsolicited penis.
So either A, that's a fresh pic, or that's a recycled pic. Like
that's what I always think that.
Ken got it, and he trying to see who respond first.
I hate recycling. I hate recycled pics. I'm always like, if a girl send me a picture, I'm like, man, did you just take that, or did you send that to? Did you send that to the previous dude? Like, I want to see I want to see a clock in the background.
You said coin it. Hold up the paper with the day and time on
it. Right.
But I think that goes back to what I said either last episode or the episode before. I said dudes don't do something that they don't think has a reasonable chance of working. And maybe he sent out 10 and 8 gonna say, ooh, gross, block. 2 might be like, I ain't never talked to this dude. I'm gonna chat him up. 20%, a 20% success rate.
A win is a win, right?
A rep is a rep. Geneva said, nah, they do. No, but I agree with KP. It's diabolical to just be like, I've never had a conversation with this girl, but let me see what she think about this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Geneva says, some men just don't understand why people keep falling off. Why people keep falling off? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I think some men, I think what she's saying is like some men don't understand why they're not able to get a decent woman or woman at all because they're doing stuff like this. Just send it out to everyone and hoping one sticks.
It's hard to get a decent. It's hard to get a decent woman when you're not sending out decent.
Right? Maybe they've given up and they just like, you know what? This is my last ditch effort.
That's a.
I tried to be the nice guy. I tried to ask him out for dinner. I tried.
I'll never get to DP status, man. Where I'm doing that.
As in, they do stupid shit like this. Yeah, like I said, maybe they got to the end of the road and they just like this. I tried everything else. If this don't work,
I mean, if you're still sending dick pics in 2024, 25, like who still does that? Like that's like I
mean, Kadriana says she get one every couple weeks.
They still do.
That's crazy. Like I saw a girl the other day had a hickey, and I'm just like, who does that? Like who's? I mean, but again, to each his own.
You wouldn't let a girl put a hickey on you?
Nah, bro.
Not visible ones. No, that's tacky.
No, nah, I can't do that.
Kadriana, you said not visible ones?
Yeah, no.
So if we see you next week with a scarf on.
Turtleneck. No, I'd say no hickeys. Like I quickly say, especially if I feel like they're a hickey guy, nope. No, thank you.
What's a hickey guy?
Yeah, that's
you weird. They start to go too rough, and then I'm like, no. I know what you're doing. Don't leave a hickey on me.
Yeah, I mean, but some women
some women might like it.
Are like, their skin is like, it's thin or whatever, so they bruise easily. So that, I mean, maybe they're not a hickey guy, but I never heard that term, the hickey guy. That's crazy.
There's some guys you could for me, you could just tell when you're dating them, the ones that are would do it on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Marking their territory.
Yeah.
I've never done that either.
Good, don't.
You've never given a girl a hickey?
I have
at this age.
I have in like high school, but not since my adult age. No, I've never given a girl a hickey on her neck. I mean, I probably suck a lot of.
Oh, that was written. We need to put one of those little disclaimers for kids. Not a child purpose
show. Parental advisory sticker.
Oh man, I didn't cuss. I didn't say anything.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not doing no hickeys. No, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want one either.
What if she was bad? What if she was like a 9.5?
Nah, bro. She can give me a hickey not on my neck or any. She can give me a hickey on any place that's not that's not above my neck, that's not my arms, that's not above my belly button, and that's not below my thigh area. She can give me hickey anywhere else besides those parts. Excuse me. Oh man, that's funny.
So, Kadriana, what other kind of guys have labels? There's the hickey. There's the hickey guy.
Hickey guy. There's the.
Is there a DP guy? You see it, you're like, oh, he looked like he might send me something unsolicited.
Yeah, you can always I can always tell when I add somebody as a friend. I'm like, and this one's gonna hit with something crazy in the inbox, and usually they have a look.
You're like, I give him 2 weeks before he get the hey.
Yeah, or the inappropriate ones. Those ones don't last because as soon as what will happen to me is I just got one. I wish I could share it. He had been trying to talk to me for a while, and I don't get in my inboxes that crazy unless it's like work stuff. I just leave it. And he got mad, and he sent me this hateful message. And so I just blocked him because I don't. And then he made up multiple accounts. Like yesterday, and I saw one today on Instagram. Used the same name and everything, and he was just like, "Oh, sorry about that. I was just mad that you weren't responding to me." But they have there's a type. There's a type. There's the crazy. There's the DP ones.
Felix.
How do I share? Because I will. I'll send it.
But had you ever talked to him? You had never.
No, not at all. And that was the thing. I didn't understand where that went 0 to 100. I had posted something on my story. Yes, Geneva. And he responded. And then I guess that was the time he just got mad because he had been commenting for months in my inbox. When I did open it to see it, it was months of him just talking to himself. And then
why didn't you block him?
What?
Why didn't you block him?
Because I don't pay attention to them. So if they're in there just doing their thing, like I said, unless it's like a work situation, I just don't pay attention to my inbox.
If they're just in there doing their thing.
Well, because they do
just milling about in my inbox.
Yeah, just talking to themselves. But no, this one, they have a look. They have a look.
if we talking about diabolical, that's got to be diabolical.
Let me send this to you. I
if
gotta
a
send
dude is steady, hey, beautiful, hey, gorgeous, looking good today, hey. Mm-hmm. And y'all know that he doing that, and y'all let him keep doing it. That's diabolical.
Is that mean? So you think we should just block them with no? Because I've tried that too, and that makes them mad too. Where you don't give them any, like, immediately they'll come in, hey, beautiful, and sometimes I block, depending on who it is, depending on how they look. But it's just, they're not reading the room. Some guys just don't read the room. I just sent you the message that I responded before he got blocked. I was polite before I blocked him and then.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was mad. Can I read it?
Yeah, you can.
He says, in response to a post, but women like you are attracted to men like that. I have basic decency and everything else good, but I am a nobody to women like you. You are attracted to deceit and bad people. All you women love the worst guys in existence, but you act like you want and yearn for good guys like me, but you really don't want that. You love scumbags and bad people because inside that beautiful face and body, there's a dark, evil monster.
Just went it just escalated. She's talking to me. By the way, I can't accept a friend request. Is that mine?
I think she's talking to you. Let me see.
Okay. Let me remove one of the guys for you, Geneva. I got you.
Man, I haven't been on Facebook since '92, man.
Yeah, Buddy was upset.
So, I mean, like,
I'll just start going over my messages. I'll start sending them.
I think there's a little bit to unpack there. I mean, of course, you don't know him from Steve, right? Yeah. And of course, he hit you up in the DM, etc., so on and so forth. And then his thought process is, I'm assuming, that, man, I'm a good guy, and I've tried to reach out to this girl to show her that I'm a good guy, but yet she's posting how she is getting hurt or there's no good guys out there, but yet she's not giving me an opportunity to get to know her. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, but yet she's complaining about not having a good guy. No, I know.
Oh, I was say I never post about wanting a guy or something.
No, I know. But like, if he's commenting on posting, the basis of his post was women want a good guy, but blah 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 blah. So like, that could be his mindset. Is that like some women? Because I'm sure if you're not the only one, he's probably done this to. Some women post that they want a good guy, but yet there could be a good guy who's trying to get that girl's attention, but she's not reciprocating that, but yet she is posting memes about this and this and that and how sad she is because somebody didn't treat her right. So like, maybe that could be the mindset that he's coming from.
And that's right, that's true, but he's not a good guy. Like how he went from that to that, that's not a good guy. So
yeah, I mean, there's only no. I'm not agreeing with what he said.
No, I'm saying like I think he had that mindset like, oh well, I'm a good guy and you don't want me, but the reality was he wasn't a good guy, and he's right. I didn't want him.
So remember in our last episode, we talked about how someone could turn someone to change.
No.
Right?
No. I don't want any projects.
No. Not him to change. Someone could turn. We talked about last week how, because you asked me if I'm the same in every relationship, and we talked about how something could happen to where it could throw you off your pivot, to where he was probably, and I don't know the conversation, but I'm just guessing. He was probably nice his first couple messages, and then he would see that you would read, not answer, and post, not you. I'm just talking about a fictionary guy. He would see you post these sad, cryptic things about how you don't get treated right, but yet you're looking at his stuff and he's not, and you're not even responding with the I don't even want to be interested, F off, et cetera, so on. And then that's when the messages start to get a little crazy, so on and so forth.
That mindset though, like just because somebody posts that and you feel like, oh, I'm going to message them, you're not entitled to get a response from us. Like we don't owe each other a response or anything like that. So to me, that's an entitled mindset to just think, well, I'm messaging you. You said you're not getting good guys. You need to write me back.
So hold that thought. How would you feel if the shoe was on the other foot? You reached out to a guy that you thought was attractive. He was looking at your messages and you see his, and you're like, you messaged him a couple times. He looked at it. And then all of a sudden he's texting, I broke up with my girl, blah, blah. And you're like, damn, this dude's a jerk because he won't even look at my mail. He won't even respond to me. I know he's single now. That's going to, a part of you, even a little bit of part of you is going to think that.
But I'm probably not his type. For me, like, I don't know. If he's not messaging and I'm, being thirsty or whatever, and he's not picking it up, then obviously he's not interested. So there's no point in me getting mad.
Clearly, 1,000%.
Yeah, so why would I get mad at somebody not wanting me?
Again, well, I guess that's you, I guess. But clearly there's people.
Every adult.
Right, there should be every adult, but clearly in your instance, there's a guy who clearly got mad at you because of this and this and that.
I mean, this dude probably is an incel, lives in his mom's basement, hates women who turn him down, who won't give him the time of day. And I assume that based off of the reaction that he took, which is wild beyond belief. But I can see where his mind flipped and he went from, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, to she posting this and she not even responding to me. I'm tired of walking around in her inbox by myself. I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind. Like, after this conversation, she blocked me. It is what it is. He did you a favor because he showed you who he actually is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of getting even if you're like, I'm gonna message him and not even romantically, just to say hi, blah 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 blah. This person was gonna come out at some point.
And I think that's why, like, for women, that's why I cannot entertain everybody that wants me to entertain them, because not everybody's mature and not everybody is wired the same. So I feel like I would be wrong if I led them on, because I've tried to be nice and carry like casual conversations with some, but it's just, they have to have more, or they want more, and they just don't.
Maybe like, when I'm gonna see you.
Yeah. Or they start to video chat me on just randomly on Facebook.
Yeah, people still spend game on Facebook.
A lot. I'm gonna have to, when I get off this, I'm gonna screenshot and I'm gonna send it to you guys.
A lot of uncles and aunties, huh?
You make it seem like only old people on Facebook.
Yeah, only old people on Facebook. No. Seriously, I seriously haven't been on Facebook probably since 2008 or 2009, when I got tired of seeing people's kids first day every single year, man. That shit got annoying. First day, first grade. First day, second grade. I'm like, oh,
I love that. I love seeing everybody's kids.
I'm like, okay. So Facebook is for aunties, uncles, and grandparents. That's true. I did hear the marketplace was pretty cool though, but
Facebook Marketplace is popping.
But nah, I ain't no Facebook, man. I go on there to find out when my like high school reunion is. That's what Facebook is for.
Oh, all right. Felix said he want to see the screenshot, so we will get an update on.
Blur the names out so I don't get it.
No, we will scratch them out.
Man, put those fools on blast.
And I have female Facebook friends who once or twice a week they're posting dudes pictures, the messages, them flipping out. And there's like, and today on this episode of Facebook is Crazy, we got this guy, and you read it, you're like, damn, like he went kind of hard, like
yeah.
At 4:30 in the morning, he went hard. Like,
people with courage.
Yeah, I'll never do that stuff like that because I know that stuff can be traced.
That can get out. You might want to run for president one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what I need to say in person. Forget all that.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap. Another great episode. Man, we didn't get a caller in. No caller. You know what we're gonna do next week? The first person who calls in next week gonna get a gift card. You can pick Starbucks, Amazon, or Target.
Target, yeah.
We're gonna surprise you with the amount, but the first person that calls in, you get to pick Starbucks, Amazon, or Target. Hopefully that will generate some interest in people calling in. We're gonna put that on.
It can't be Geneva.
And it can't be Felix.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Kadriana, you got anything you want to say before we wrap?
We're gonna be back on next week, right? Yeah, it's not Christmas yet, right? No. All right. Well,
we'll be back on next week, but not the week after.
Okay, so we will see you next week for another episode. Men, don't send dick pics. Women, ask your man what he wants. Ask your man.
I thought she was going to say, women, send your man blank. KP, you got anything for us before we get out of here?
Yo, man, I want that call. Like, subscribe, call in next week. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Geneva writing in. Appreciate Felix, Katie. I appreciate you guys. And
Katie can call in and get the gift card because she only pop in every 5-6 episodes.
Until next week.
Absolutely. And to reiterate that, everybody like, subscribe, share, tell your friends to tell a friend. We're going to definitely have that. And I have a surprise for next week that'll be just in time for the holidays. So be looking forward to that. We're going to drop that next week on the next week episode. But like Kadriana said, dudes, don't send the DPs. Women, ask your man what they want, or at least listen when he's trying to tell you. Yeah. It was great.
Learn your love languages. Learn your
love languages. Go into 2025 and know something.
Yeah.
Change your mind about some things. Geneva said, you all are great to listen to. Thank you so much, G. We appreciate you. Yeah. We appreciate you. All right. Until next week, everybody, take care. Be safe. Get ready for the holidays, and we'll talk to you guys in about a week.
Bye.
Bye.